In the far corner of a forgotten space colony, on a dark planet called Area 7, there lived an alien girl named Vera. Vera was different from everyone else in the colony. She was small, thin, and her pale purple skin made her look weak. Her glowing blue eyes always looked sad, as if she carried the weight of the entire universe. Vera was an orphan. Her parents had died in an accident years ago. Since then, no one cared much for her. Among her species, bonding or mating was not just about love, it was about survival. If an alien like Vera didn't bond with someone, her body would slowly become weaker. She needed a mate, someone to share energy with, but nobody in the colony wanted to bond with a weak orphan like her. Every day, Vera tried to help around the colony, carrying water, cleaning halls, fixing broken wires, but the others ignored her. Some whispered that Vera was cursed. Others said she wasn't worth wasting time on. One cold evening, the colony sky turned gray. Dark clouds covered the twin moons. Vera was trying to carry a heavy water container from the well. Her small arms shook. Her legs felt like ice. The ground beneath her feet became slippery. That was when her vision blurred. Her knees gave up. The container fell, and so did she. But just before she hit the ground, strong arms caught her. It was a human. His name was Jack. He had just arrived on the colony for supply delivery. He wore a heavy black jacket, and his face was rough with a few days of beard. His eyes were sharp, but when he looked down at Vera, there was only surprise and concern. "Hey, you okay?" Jack said in a calm voice. Vera couldn't answer. Her skin glowed faintly, a soft blue light spreading from her neck to her face. Jack felt that her skin was warm like soft metal, but also shivering. People around them stopped for a second, staring, but nobody moved to help. They just watched and whispered. Jack frowned. "Why is nobody helping her?" he asked loudly. No one answered. Carefully, Jack lifted Vera into his arms. Her body was light, almost like holding a large child. He didn't know much about alien customs, but he knew leaving someone like this was wrong. As Jack walked toward the colony clinic, Vera opened her eyes slightly. "Why? She whispered. Her voice was like a song, soft and sad. "Why are you helping me?" Jack looked down at her. "Because you need it, that's all." At the clinic, the doctor, a tall alien with green skin, checked Vera quickly. But his words made Jack's stomach tighten. "She is an orphan," the doctor said coldly. "Nobody has bonded with her. It's not our concern." Jack couldn't believe it. "So you just let her die?" The doctor shrugged. "That is our way." Jack stayed silent, staring at Vera's weak body on the bed. Her skin glowed again, but now it was fainter, almost like a candle about to go out. Later that night, Jack sat near her bed. The clinic was quiet now. Everyone else had left. Vera was sleeping, but her breathing was slow and shallow. Jack spoke quietly to himself. "What kind of place is this?" Suddenly, Vera's hand moved slightly, reaching out. Her fingers brushed against Jack's hand. For a moment, he felt a strange warmth travel up his arm. His skin tingled. And for just 1 second, Vera opened her eyes again, looking directly at him. That moment, something changed in Jack's mind. He couldn't explain it. Maybe it was because she was so alone. Maybe it was the glow in her eyes. But one thing was clear, he couldn't leave Vera like this. He made a silent promise. "I don't know what this bonding thing means," Jack whispered, "but I'm not walking away." Outside the window, the storm clouds broke apart for a brief second. One of the twin moons shone down, lighting Vera's face. The lonely alien girl wasn't completely alone anymore. The next morning, the colony was cold and quiet. Jack sat beside Vera's bed, arms crossed, face tense. Vera still lay there, her skin glowing faintly. The color was dimmer now, almost fading like a dying flame. Jack had spent the night thinking. He had heard rumors before about alien bonding. He had never imagined it was about survival, life or death. Suddenly, the door opened. An elder alien entered, tall and covered in silver robes. His name was Eldar Kor. Jack had seen him before during delivery trips. Leader of the colony. You care too much for something that's not your responsibility, Eldar Kor said quietly. Jack looked up sharply. She'd die if no one helps her, the elder simply nodded. That's the way things are. Her energy is collapsing. Without bonding, her species fades away. Then why won't anyone bond with her? Jack's voice was tight, angry. Now Eldar Kor sighed. She is not like the others. Her power was always unstable, dangerous. No one wishes to take that risk. Jack glanced down at Vera. Her small hands twitched weakly. Her chest barely moved as she breathed. So it's easier to let her die than try? Jack muttered. Kor's eyes narrowed. And you, human? Would you risk your own life for her? Bonding is no small thing. Your kind has never done it before. No one knows what would happen. Jack didn't answer immediately. His hand rested on Vera's. Again, he felt that tingling warmth. Suddenly, a sharp beeping sound echoed from the monitors. Vera's energy levels were dropping fast. Jack stood. His jaw clenched. Tell me what I need to do. Kor stared at him for a long, silent moment. There is an old chamber below this clinic, Kor finally said. Bonding must happen there. Alone. If you survive. We will see. Without waiting for permission, Jack picked Vera up in his arms. Her body was almost weightless now. Kor led him to a hidden door behind the clinic wall. Stone stairs led down into a glowing blue chamber. Crystals lined the walls, humming with quiet energy. Place her on the stone, Kor instructed. Jack obeyed, laying Vera on a flat crystal slab. Her eyes were closed, her skin pale as ice. Kor handed Jack a small, glowing device. Touch her chest with this. It will start the process, but once it begins, there is no turning back. Jack nodded once. His heart pounded in his chest, but he didn't hesitate. He pressed the device gently against Vera's skin. The moment it touched her, everything changed. The chamber filled with light. Vera's body arched, eyes snapping open, glowing bright. Blue. Her voice echoed in the air, a single note like a song. Jack felt it hit him like a wave. Heat, pressure, energy surging through his body. His vision blurred. His arms shook. Memories not his own flashed in his mind. Vera as a child, crying alone. Vera looking up at the stars, whispering to no one. Vera falling. And Jack catching her. Suddenly, Jack screamed. His body felt like it was burning from the inside. Marks like glowing lines appeared on his arms, his chest. Kor stood outside the chamber, watching with wide eyes. Impossible. Whole quotes, he whispered. A human surviving this. Inside, Jack fell to his knees beside Vera. His skin was glowing now, too white mixed with blue. Vera's hand grabbed his suddenly, tight and strong. Jack. She whispered. Her voice was clear now, alive. And then, as quickly as it had begun, the light vanished. The chamber grew silent. Jack collapsed, unconscious. But Vera sat up slowly, eyes shining, energy fully restored. Her body glowed softly, her weak form now filled with quiet power. For the first time in her life, she wasn't alone. And for the first time in history, a human and an alien had bonded. What they didn't know yet, this bond had awakened something far bigger than both of them, something that others would soon come hunting for. When Jack woke up, his head felt like it had been split open. His body was heavy, but warm. The first thing he saw wasn't the cold metal walls of the colony, it was Vera's face. She sat beside him, eyes glowing softly, her expression filled with something he didn't expect, quiet relief. Where? Jack's voice cracked. Vera spoke first. Her voice was clearer now, no longer weak. You survived. I didn't think you could. Jack sat up slowly. His body ached, but something was different. His skin was no longer just human. Faint glowing lines like silver tattoos ran along his arms and neck. Before Jack could ask anything, the door to the bonding chamber opened. Eldar Kor stood there, eyes wide with disbelief. You ... are still alive, Kor said, voice low. That is not possible. Jack looked at his glowing skin. Looks like it is. Vera stood beside him now, steady on her feet. Her posture wasn't shy anymore. Something inside her had changed too. Kor stepped closer, but stayed cautious. A human should not survive the bond. Your species does not have the structure for it. Jack shrugged, but his mind was racing. Guess I'm not a normal human now. As they walked back into the main colony halls, Jack noticed how people stopped and stared. Aliens who never looked at him before now watched with wide eyes. Whispers followed them. Vera kept her hand close to Jack's arm. Her glowing marks pulsed in sync with his. That's when things started getting stranger. That night, as Jack tried to sleep in the guest room, he woke up to something unusual. His hearing had changed. He could hear footsteps from far down the hall. He could hear whispers from outside the building. He sat up, holding his head. His muscles felt heavier, tighter. When he looked at his hands in the dark, they glowed faintly blue. The bond wasn't just about virus survival, it was changing Jack too. The next morning, Kor called for a private meeting. Jack and Vera sat across from him in a quiet room. There is something you both need to know, Kor said seriously. Vera frowned. What is it? Kor placed an old holopad on the table. A royal crest glimmered on the screen. Vera, you are not just an orphan. Your parents were part of the royal line. Vera's eyes widened. That's not possible. My parents. They were engineers. Kor shook his head slowly. That was a lie to protect you. Your powers were sealed by order of the royal family themselves. Too dangerous, too strong for a child to handle. Jack leaned forward. And now that she's bonded, now her true power will start waking up. And that power is not something certain people want to see return. Jack felt a cold weight in his chest. Who exactly? Before Kor could answer, the colony's alarm system suddenly blared. Red lights flashed. Sirens echoed through the halls. Unknown. Ships approaching. Came a voice over the speakers. Kor stood sharply. His expression was grim. They've come. Vera gripped Jack's arm tightly. Her skin was glowing bright now, eyes wide with fear, but also determination. Jack stood, heart pounding. Whoever was coming. They weren't here for peace. And deep inside, Jack felt something stir in his blood. A new instinct, not human. Not alien. Something in between. He looked down at Vera, her glowing eyes meeting his. We'll face them together, Jack said quietly. For the first time since arriving on Area 7, he didn't feel like an outsider anymore. He felt like part of something much bigger. The sky over Area 7 turned blood red as black ships blocked the twin moons. Their shape was different from colony transports, sleek, armored, sharp-edged vessels that looked like flying blades. Inside the colony hall, everyone was running. Panic filled the air. But Jack stood calm, his hand resting gently on Vera's shoulder. Her skin glowed brighter with every second. Eldar Kor's voice echoed through the control room. They call themselves the Null Order, ancient enforcers. They hunt bonders, anyone too dangerous, human or alien. Vera's bond with you, it crossed a line. Jack didn't look away from the main window. His jaw tightened. They came just for us? Kor nodded grimly. They will not leave survivors. The sirens screamed louder now. Jack glanced at Vera, who was standing taller than before. Her glow pulsed in rhythm with his own. She wasn't the scared orphan anymore. Suddenly, Jack clenched his fists. A pulse of blue-white energy sparked from his skin. His heart beat faster. His eyes flickered with faint blue light. Kor saw it and stepped back. "Your body is adapting faster than I thought." Before anyone could speak further, the first attack began. A blinding flash of red light tore through the colony's outer wall. Wind and smoke rushed in. Debris flew like knives. Aliens screamed. Lights exploded, but Jack didn't flinch. His reflexes kicked in, faster than human, faster than alien. He grabbed Vera and rolled behind a metal barrier just as more energy blasts rained down. For a brief second, everything was silent except for Vera's breathing against his shoulder. Then, she spoke. "Jack, I can feel them, outside. I know where they are." Jack's eyes narrowed. "You can sense them through the bond?" Vera nodded, her voice calm. "Yes, and I think I can do more." Before Jack could ask, Vera raised her hand toward the broken wall. Her glowing skin brightened until it hurt to look. A sudden blast of pure energy shot from her palm blue lightning. It struck one of the Null Order ships midair, sending it crashing into the rocky ground outside. Jack stared in shock. "That wasn't possible before," Vera whispered, looking at her own hands. Kor, still behind them, murmured, "The bond has unlocked her sealed abilities. More than I expected." But there was no time to celebrate. Black-armored soldiers entered through the destroyed wall, now tall. Faceless figures with smooth helmets and glowing red visors, their weapons aimed directly at Vera. Jack stepped in front of her without thinking. His skin pulsed brighter now, light traveling up his arms like electricity. A soldier fired. The energy bolt hit Jack in the chest. But instead of falling, Jack stood firm. The bolt burned his jacket, but his skin underneath glowed so bright it pushed the energy away, like water splashing against stone. The Null soldiers hesitated. Jack smiled darkly. Big mistake. In one quick movement, he launched forward faster than any human or alien. His punch hit the first soldier's helmet, shattering it into pieces. Another swung a blade, but Jack grabbed it mid-swing, his hand crackling with raw energy, and crushed it. Behind him, Vera's energy gathered again. This time, she didn't hesitate. Blue lightning erupted across the hall, wiping out the second wave of soldiers in a single blast. Smoke filled the room. Sparks flew from broken lights. When it cleared, only Jack, Vera, and a few stunned colony survivors remained standing. Eldar Kor stepped forward slowly, his voice shaking. "You two. You are no longer just bonded. You have become something new." Jack looked down at his hands, still glowing. Vera stood beside him, eyes shining like two small stars. From that moment, there was no more question of whether they belonged. But outside, in the sky, more Null ships hovered, and some were among them. Someone was watching Jack and Vera very closely, not just as enemies, but as something far more dangerous. The first human-alien bond powerful enough to change the balance of the galaxy. The colony burned behind them. Smoke rose like black rivers into the sky as Jack, Vera, and Eldar Kor moved through hidden tunnels under Area 7. Vera kept close to Jack, her glowing eyes filled with worry, not just for herself now, but for him. His skin was still glowing faintly. Jack's body had taken several hits back there, but nothing slowed him down. It was as if he was becoming something else entirely. Inside one of the deeper tunnels, they stopped. Eldar Kor placed his hand against a stone wall, revealing a hidden door. "This is as far as the Null Order's scanners can't reach," Kor said quietly. Jack looked around. "Why didn't you bring us here before?" Kor hesitated. Then, his voice dropped even lower. "Because there are things Vera does not know about herself. And things ... her parents tried to hide." Vera frowned. "I don't understand. What else is there?" Kor opened the hidden room. Inside, a glowing console waited. Strange symbols floated above its symbols. Jack couldn't read, but Vera's eyes widened the moment she saw them. That's my family's crest. Double quote, she whispered. Kor nodded. Vira, your powers were not sealed by accident. Your parents locked them away for a reason. He tapped the console, and a hologram appeared, a recording of Vira's mother. The message was clear, spoken in Vira's native tongue. But Kor translated quietly for Jack's sake. If you're hearing this, Vira, it means we are gone. And it means your true power has returned. Vira stepped closer, her breath caught in her throat. Her mother's voice continued, you were born not as a normal child, but as a hybrid. Part royal blood, part something else. Our ancestors once bonded with another species long ago, humans. You carry both. Jack's eyes widened. Wait, what? Kor's face remained serious. That's why no one wanted to bond with her. Her blood isn't pure by alien standards, but it also means Jack was able to survive the bond. Vira shook her head slowly, her voice trembling. All this time, I thought I was weak because something was wrong with me. Jack placed his hand gently on her shoulder. You're not weak. You're something new. Just then, a sharp alarm inside the hidden room triggered. Red lights flashed. Kor's face hardened. They found us. But Jack didn't flinch this time. His eyes flickered blue once more. Then we finish this. Vira stepped beside him. Her voice steadier now. Together. The recording faded, but those last words from Vira's mother stayed in their minds. Your true strength comes not from being one or the other. It comes from being both. Outside, the Null Order wasn't prepared for what was coming next. Because now Jack and Vira weren't just bonded by accident. They were bonded by fate, and fate had made them unstoppable. The underground shelter shook violently. Dust rained from the stone ceiling as Null Order forces hammered at the colony above. But Jack didn't hesitate. His mind was clear now, more focused than human, more instinctive than alien. Eldar Kor pressed a hidden panel. On the wall, another secret door opened, revealing a small spacecraft, sleek, dark gray, just big enough for two. It looked old but fast. Kor's voice was low and urgent. This ship belonged to Vira's parents. It was meant for her escape if this day ever came. Vira's eyes glowed faintly as she stared at the craft. For a second she said nothing. Then she turned to Jack, calm and steady. We leave now. Together. Jack simply nodded. They climbed aboard. Jack sat in the pilot's seat, his hands moving across controls like he had done it all his life. But there was something different. Now, the ship responded to him almost as if it knew him, his human energy mixed with Vira's bond guiding the system. As the engines powered up, Vira placed her hand against the console. Her energy merged with Jack's through the bond, creating a glowing pulse across the ship. Suddenly, the roof above them exploded. Red lights poured through the opening, and Null Order soldiers dropped in, weapons drawn. But they were too late. Ship shot upward with a burst of blue-white light, punching through stone, metal, and fire like a spear through cloth. The colony fell away below them, shrinking into darkness as stars opened up around them. Inside the cockpit, Jack glanced sideways at Vira. Where do we go now? Vira closed her eyes, sensing through her bond. Somewhere safe. I can feel a signal. A place my parents left for me. Jack didn't ask questions. He pushed the ship forward, faster than he thought possible. But just as they crossed into deep space, warning signals lit up on the console. Vira's voice dropped into a whisper. They're following us. Behind them, 3 Null Order ships appeared on the radar. Sleek, black, glowing red like hunting wolves. Jack tightened his grip on the controls. His arms glowed faintly again. Let's see if this bond really made me special, he muttered. The next few minutes turned into a blur. Jack pushed the ship into impossible maneuvers, barrel rolls, sudden flips, dodging plasma fire. Vira focused her energy, sending power into the shields whenever enemy blasts got too close. The two of them moved as one. Like two halves of the same creature, Vira's breathing matched Jack's heartbeat. Through their bond, they felt each other's fear, focus, even flashes of memory. Suddenly, Vera gasped. Her eyes flew open. Jack glanced at her quickly. What is it? I saw it. In my mind. A fleet. Not null order, my family's fleet. Waiting beyond this system. Jack's jaw tightened. More royal family drama? Vera shook her head. They won't help us. If they find us, they'll try to control me too. Jack understood instantly. Royal heirs weren't just family, they were power. And Vera had become the biggest power in the galaxy. He flicked a switch. Then we keep running. But even as he said it, Jack's vision blurred for a second. Vera noticed. Jack, he blinked. His skin was glowing brighter than ever now. His body felt heavier, stronger, faster, but also less human. I'm fine, Jack said. It's the bond. Vera reached out, placing her hand on his. We're changing together. Jack didn't pull away. For the first time, that idea didn't scare him. Outside, the stars stretched into long white lines as the ship entered hyper-jump speed, leaving their enemies far behind, but neither of them knew what waited on the other side. Not just family. Not just enemies, something older. Something that once existed before aliens and humans ever met, and both Jack and Vera were now part of it. Far beyond Area 7, Jack and Vira's stolen ship dropped out of hyperspace into a quiet stretch of stars. No null order ships. No royal fleet. Just cold silence and a giant ancient station floating ahead. It wasn't shown on any maps. Vira's bond-driven instinct had led them here. Jack stared through the cockpit window. That doesn't look friendly. The station was black and silver, cracked in places, but still alive. Energy pulses glowed across its surface like the heartbeat of something long asleep. Vera whispered, "This is the Origin Vault. It's older than my family. Older than the bond tradition itself." Her eyes glowed as she spoke. Through the bond. Jack felt her pulse quicken. When they landed inside the vault's hangar, everything was strangely still. No guards, no traps. Just rows of ancient pillars covered in unreadable symbols. Vira stepped forward, her skin glowing faintly. Her voice was steady now, deeper, stronger. "Jack, this is where the first bond happened. Between a human and one of my ancestors." Jack's expression darkened with understanding. "That's why they wanted us dead. We're not a mistake. We're the first in generations to repeat it." As they walked deeper, strange energy swirled around them. Vera suddenly stopped. This is it. Before them stood a circular platform surrounded by crystal towers. At its center, a twin-seated throne, one side shaped for an alien, the other for a human. Jack stepped closer, frowning. "This is getting way too symbolic." Vira turned to him, her voice low. "This isn't just for show. This throne, it completes the bond, fully. If we sit together, we'll merge completely." Jack's face tightened. "What does that mean for me?" Vera swallowed hard. "You'll stop being just human." Silence filled the hall. For a second, Jack's thoughts raced. But when his eyes met Vera's glowing ones, half human, half alien, he made his decision. With slow steps, he walked to the human-shaped seat. Vera moved to the alien one. Together they sat. Instantly, the entire vault came alive. Blinding blue and white energy burst from the floor and walls, flooding the space. The thrones pulsed as the bond sealed itself fully. Jack's skin glowed brighter than ever, until it wasn't just blue, it was white-hot, like a star. Vera's form shimmered, her body surrounded by flickers of ancient symbols. Their minds fused completely. For a moment, they were one, not just two beings sharing power. In that moment, Jack understood everything. Vera's ancestors. The first bonds. The real reason both humans and aliens had been kept apart for so long. Together, bonded humans and aliens could become something no army, no empire could control. When the light faded, Jack and Vera stood hand in hand. Both looked different now. Jack's eyes were no longer fully human, they glowed like Vera's. His body carried alien marks as if he was born with them. Vera's voice echoed quietly, perfectly in sync with Jack's. "Own, we are not human. We are not alien. We are both." Suddenly, alarms echoed again. But this time it wasn't null order or royal forces. A new signal appeared in the vault systems. Across the galaxy, other sleeping stations like this one were waking up. The bond wasn't just about Jack and Vera anymore. It was a message to the stars. The age of humans and aliens living apart was over, and the ones to lead that new future were Jack and Vera. The final bond had been made, and nothing would ever be the same again.